Welcome, my friends and gems, to Love and Money Secrets TV. And today we are talking again about the Intuition Manifesto. And the topic I want to discuss is one that I talk about in the Intuition Manifesto, which has to do with having an open heart. And I think oftentimes we recognize that some people talk about this concept of having an open heart, and we're not even sure if we have an open heart. We might suspect, but we're really not certain. I go, what does it even mean to have a closed heart? And why would anybody have a closed heart? And so I want to discuss that. We're going to just take a few minutes. This is going to be a short broadcast. It's not going to be long, I promise you. And so I want you to know that one of the first indicators that you have a closed heart is if you are doing any of these things, which are things that I did myself. And in the book, I talk about why it is that I had a closed heart, what led me to have a closed heart, and my recognition of that closed heart and having to decide, this is not a healthy way to live. I don't know how, but I need to open up my heart. So if you are not feeling negative emotions, if you're not feeling sadness, if you don't feel grief, if you don't allow yourself to cry, or you simply can't cry, or if somebody upsets you or irritates you, if you find yourself, which part of my issue was that I was repressing, depressing, I was not allowing myself to feel those negative emotions because I only was allowing myself to feel the positive, like loving, happy, joyous, elated, excited, enthusiastic emotions. But anything that was not happy, that was if there was something that made me sad, I would bottle it up. I just became the queen of repressing, depressing, and suppressing any emotion that wasn't pleasant, that wasn't quote unquote considered ladylike. And so then I found myself in this place where I realized, oh my gosh, if I continue on with this type of MO, this modus operandi, this is really bad for your heart. People literally have heart attacks and have heart arrhythmias and have all sorts of different heart conditions because of that state of being. So I've got to stop it. And so that started my quest where I decided, I was about 40, and I just decided, you know what, drawing a line in the sand, I have no idea how to do this. I know that it's not healthy to move forward in this particular state of being. And it was very much, I want to say that it was an intellectual and a heart decision at that time, because there were things that had happened that hurt, that hurt me emotionally. I mean, I went from being very, very sensitive that anything, if you looked at me cross-eyed as a kid, I would cry. I would not cry in front of anybody. I would run to the bathroom and cry, and then once I was done, then I would come out and then I would join everybody. I did that through elementary school. I did that through high school. And not to say that my heart was closed then, but I was learning slowly but surely how to close my heart. And so by the time I was in I'd say my mid-20s, I had mastered the art of really bottling it up and not allowing myself to feel any negative emotion, but that I was in ignorance of the consequences to that. So let's fast forward to then when I turned about 40. I want to say I was like 40. It was actually between 40 and 45 that these things started to creep up on me. And I was starting to I didn't think I was having a heart problem from a physical standpoint, but I was starting to have heart palpitations and things of the like. And I was starting to come into my awareness because of the medical background that I had. I was starting to recognize the health conditions of people who were in that unfeeling state where they were not fully comprehensively allowing themselves and giving themselves permission to feel all of the emotions. One of the things, it's so funny and so fascinating to me how God in his infinite wisdom, the divine, the creator, infinite source intelligence, the light, the great I am, Adonai, Elohim, El Shaddai, whatever name you want to use for that energy and that power that is greater than any and all of us, and who has created us and who also can heal us. the universe will start to coordinate things as we seek to be aligned with God's will and to be one with the one. And one of my mantras that was something that I recognized back in 2019, I heard, I am one with the one, I am the one, and I immediately perked up and thought, oh my gosh, that is amazing. From that moment onward, and I received that in meditation, I've been saying it ever since. Every day when I go into meditation and I take the time to open my heart and to be one with the one, I say, I'm one with the one, I am the one. And I got to tell you, it does bring me joy to say that, because I am one with the Creator. The Creator is one with me. We are one together. And so it is a beautiful mantra, and it's a very empowering mantra. If you don't use it yet, I would encourage you to do that. But back to how the infinite source intelligence, how things are orchestrated when you allow yourself to feel the desires of your heart, to come forth and to ask, even if you don't know how, but you just pose that, and that the how is not your job. Your job is to identify, create your shopping list. I want that, I want that, I want that, I want that. And then say, okay, this is what I want. So what I wanted was an open heart. So at about, I want to say 2013, it was 2013, 2014. It may have even been 2015. To be honest with you, I'd have to go back to my radio show and see when I interviewed David Corbin. And David Corbin wrote a book that was called Illuminate the Negative. And the premise of the book was that you were to illuminate the negative in your life and allow yourself permission to not just feel the happy, vibrant, positive emotions, but also to embrace and to recognize the negative emotions. You can't make this stuff up. It's like, can you believe it? That's what his book was about. Now, if you don't know anything about David Corbin, I will tell you that David Corbin, he is the Robin Williams to the Inc. 5,000 top fastest growing companies in America. They hire him to come in as a speaker and to illuminate their upper, middle and upper management executives and their sales force, etc. And so he wrote this incredible book. And so in that book, he reveals how you are to embrace all of your emotions, not just the positive ones, but to embrace also the negative ones. So that was a pretty big piece of information, a book's worth of information that I needed to read, to understand, to apply, to embody, which is part of the fabric of who I am today. Who knows what my life would have been like had he not written that book, had I not met him, had I not interviewed him to be on the Bottom Line Show Live, which was a radio show that I produced and hosted at the time. And so the universe will give you what it is that you want. It is your job to decide what it is that you want. The desires that you have are the desires of the heart. They've been put there by the Creator, the one who actually created you as you are right now. I like to let people know that, there are clues in our words. And if you look at the word desire, D is from the Latin root word de, which is de, that means of. Sire means father. That's where we get to sire, to sire a horse that's the male horse is siring a horse, right? So when you do desire, that means that it's a wish, a want fulfilled that's coming from your heart's desire, that is really coming from the Father, from God Almighty, from the universe. Like I said, there's 72 names just in Hebrew to utter the word which we would equate to a name of God. One interesting factoid many people may not be aware of, but if you believe that the Bible is the infallible Word of God and that it is the living Word of God, at the beginning of the book of Genesis, it says, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the Word, yada, yada, yada. If you look at the Hebrew translation of that, the word God is actually, of the 72 names that could have been used, they use the word Elohim. Now, the interesting thing about the word, the name Elohim, is that Elohim is a collective. It's a plural. So it infers more than one energy, as opposed to some of the other names of God. So I think that's very interesting, because one of the things that I've had revealed in meditation, I talk again a little bit about it in the Intuition Manifesto, is that when you go into that 5D quantum realm, and as you're looking to tune in, to tap in, and to turn on to your intuition, you are receiving a collective energy that when you are in that place, you're not looking to go for multiple energies. My intention is always just to connect with God. Whatever, for me, God is love. God is light. God is the great I am. Okay? Again, if you have issues with the word God, you can throw away the word God and you could use the universe, infinite source intelligence. You could use El Shaddai, Elohim, Adonai, Shalom, El, Eli, Eliyahu, Jehovah, Yahweh, Yeshua. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. Yahweh. So the bottom line is that don't get hung up with the labels and whatever those names are. It's most important that you choose to connect to that incredible infinite source intelligence, to that power, that divine sacred power. It wants to be one with you and you want to be one with it. And it's just a choice that you make. That's it. You just decide. You just have that desire. And now the second word we're going to talk about is decide. So what does decide mean? If you break that word down, you have de, which is of again in Latin, and then sidre, C-I-D-R-E, and sidre in Latin means to cut. So this was a revelation that I had in meditation back in 2000. It was, I think, the summer of 2013. So when you make a decision, there is an incredible amount of energy that is released from the entire cosmos, and it goes down to support and to lift you forward, to move you in the direction of what it is that you've decided that you want. So when you decide, it literally cuts a line in the sand so that now you are on the other side of that line, and so that line is behind you. So whoever you were before that decision, that is now in the past. Now you're on the other side of the line, and that energy is there to catapult you, quantum leap you towards what it is that you desire, what it is that you want, whatever the wish is that you want to have fulfilled. So that's it, my friends and gems. That's all I have for you today. It's the 22nd hour of the 28th day of February. It's the last day of the month of February. It's Monday evening. Tomorrow is Tuesday, which will mark my first week of having launched the Intuition Manifesto. The hardcover, the ebook is available. By the 22nd of March, we will have the audiobook available. But until then, you have the hardcover and you have the softcover paperback as well as the ebook available. So tune in, tap in, turn on to the Intuition Manifesto if you want to unlock the gateway of your dreams and you want to finally have certainty and clarity about the direction that you need to go to fulfill your life purpose, to get a new job, to start a new business, to create a new relationship, to improve the relationship that you have, maybe improve the relationship with a parent, relationship with a child that's young, child that's old, doesn't matter. Whatever it is that your heart's desire, if you're wanting to manifest more abundance, if you just want to have more certainty and clarity, then you're going to want to read on. And you're going to want to learn more. And you're going to want to tune in, tap in, and turn on to these broadcasts where I talk to you, share with you nuggets of information about the Intuition Manifesto. And so thank you for tuning in, tapping in, turning on. I want to tell you that Intuition Manifesto will be like your good luck charm. I actually physically have a good luck charm, which is a 4-leaf clover, which has an incredible special significance and meaning to me. I was told on New Year's Eve by the divine when I was in meditation that I was to wear this piece of jewelry for all of 2022, which I never wear the same piece of jewelry the entire year, but for whatever reason this year I was instructed to wear this every single day. So that's what I'm doing. I haven't worn anything different. I might add another charm on the back of here and put the charm in the back and still leave this here, but I've been wearing this every day. So thank you for tuning in. I love you so much, my friends and gems, and we will see you in about 24 hours or sooner when I will talk to you about another gold nugget that was revealed to me in the Intuition Manifesto and how it's affected my life and how it can help you too. Okay? Ciao for now.